All right, guys. Once again, here I am. I think this is part three. Let's continue. Um, as you guys know, we left off in a pretty interesting part. Um, One of the gentlemen did is part of Mr. Francis Chang um, team is going to speak to us, and I mean, this should motivate anyone. I mean, I don't care who you are. To It should motivate your heart to be moved. It should stir your heart. I mean, I know that it does for me. I definitely need stirring in my life, and even though I'm, in the eyes of other people, I may look like I'm doing something, but I'm really hard on myself, and sometimes I shouldn't be, but I'd rather be a little bit tough on myself, and that I may continue to pursue the things that God has before me, that I may be able to attain the real reason why He got a hold of me. Let's go and check this out.
I had a great job at the time at a great church in a great neighborhood, and my kids were in great schools. And Francis said to me, I want to invite you to leave your great job and your great neighborhood and your great school, and then come into this place that is 6 times more violent than any other place in San Francisco. The school will not be as good as the schools that you were a part of, and there's no money in it. And so I was like, great pitch. And I came away from that meeting thinking, yeah, inspired, and then thinking, man, never have lunch with Francis Chan. So Francis gets back, he's like showing us all these pictures of the trip, and he said, I need to make $5 million off this next book because $5 million will help build this village where 1,000 of these girls can come, and they'll be rescued out. And, so we said, that's a lot of money, Francis.
I had been wanting to write You and Me Forever for about 5 years, but we finally had gotten started with it. Mainly, we just felt like there were certain things that were missing. We didn't see a lot of people talking about the mission and how important the mission was. And in our lives, the mission was actually the very thing that I felt brought us together because we cared about the same thing and we're pursuing the same thing. So once we were in Africa and experiencing everything, it's like, as a team, it's like, let's do this because we've just seen a need together.
We sat there and we were kind of thinking through, all right, what do we need to do in order to, get the book out there, get the message out there to as many people as possible because it's such an important message. That's where we landed on the idea of self-publishing. We kind of looked through the model, and the crazy thing was none of us had ever published. The last time I published anything was like in the 4th grade. I wrote a book report, and so, we're sitting there, we're opening up the laptops. How do you start a publishing company, We did a lot with the book. We made a physical book. We made an audiobook, an ebook. We made a custom app. We put together this volunteer team that came together and said, I love the vision. I love what you guys are trying to do. I want to use my gifts to be a part of that story.
And so once Kevin spoke to me, there were a couple of people that I had in mind that I knew were already excited about kind of this space and about using our skills for the glory of God. And so I knew right away of a couple of individuals that would be in.
Chris Chu calls me up and says, like, hey, how would you like to work on an app that's basically a book that Francis Chan is putting together? And he pitched me on this idea of building an app that would ultimately help this ministry, and the mission behind it was just so interesting.
I have a connection with the country myself. I told my brother about it after we'd been working on this for a few months, and he'd been doing Android development, and we needed an Android developer.
Just knowing already what Francis has done in the past and the ministries he's done, it's great to be a part of this next thing he's working on, especially seeing that it's for a cause that's so important. I still felt like I was a part of something a bigger and with an end goal of more than just an app, but being able to help people.
Wow, I have to put it on pause right there. And I mean, I have to talk about this. This is amazing. I want to share with you guys something that has just happened recently. And if you don't know by now, well, you're about to find out. Just recently, the Lord opened up a door of an opportunity that I may be able to walk through. Um, this has been a big deal for me, and it's a big deal because it touches my heart in a very profound and special way. I come from a past where um, addiction, it was the norm. And when I say addiction, I mean hard drugs, methamphetamines, pills, trying and messing around, experimenting with other drugs, all of them, mixing things together, and you know, just going all out in that aspect. We can go into the reasons why, um, I pursued, that kind of lifestyle. First of all, I was brought up in it. That's pretty much what I knew. That's the way my mom taught me. She was a drug addict herself and an alcoholic. So I follow in the footsteps of my predecessor, so to speak. And I'm not trying to blame nobody for um, what has happened, in my life, but I am going to, you know, be honest and truthful to say that I believe that yes, your background and how you grow up can have a serious effect on how things turn out in your life. Now, can people turn a bad situation into good? Of course they can. Can a person come from a bad neighborhood and become a doctor instead of a dope dealer? Yes, they can. So, it's not about really where you come from, but it's about the capacity of your mental faculties and how you are able to, you know, to deal with things and level of your mental maturity to be able to either overcome and or not. And even the most strongest people mentally, can crack under certain types of pressure. So, you know, here we have to tread on a very fine, thin wire. And the truth of the matter is this: I came from the streets, seen a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, um, a lot of shootings, a lot of, I mean, everything that you can imagine. When it comes down to living in the streets and and all of the filth that comes with that. No, I experienced it. I experienced it. I experienced brokenness in that type of environment. But all of those things pale in comparison to some of these things that I see, like what Mr. Francis Chan is dealing with in regards to helping a a community so far away in Africa and whatnot. But excuse me, but like I said, this touches my heart really deeply because a door, like I said, was opened up for me. But I never thought that the vision that God had given me was ever going to happen. And just like these guys here, God brought all of these guys together. And one guy knew this guy, this other guy knew that guy, and it's just amazing how God just takes this. Um, just all kinds of different people from every walks of life, and he just creates this amazing tapestry of beautiful artwork of redemption and love and prosperity for the sole purpose of bringing glory to the name of his son Jesus Christ. I mean, this is just it just amazes me. And like I said, this door that has been opened through the Salvation Army, and it's just been in my heart to, I guess, to document it while it's happening. Um, and I'm, you know, I could say I'm really excited about it, but it's not that kind of excitement. It's a solemn excitement if I can muster some kind of proper words to say. But I know the reality is not about me, and the picture is bigger. And I mean, this is what it really boils down to. Is God using people?